So when I was switching from engineering to product, I was trying to figure if this is the right move to make. Yeah, a lot of people told me, no, this is not the right move to make for you. Just by numbers, there are a lot more engineers than product managers, right? So the demand for product management is lesser than engineering. Money-wise, also engineers are paid better than product managers. So then why did I make the move?
Whenever I reach out to any person who take care of product management from a leadership perspective, they have different definition of product management. So for folks completely coming at as a fresher, or people who have worked but in a not in a product role but adjacent role, how would you describe to them that what is product management and what are the roles and responsibility look like a day in a life of product management look like according to you?
Yeah, I think you would have. So if you ask me for a definition, I think there's a very cliche definition. All of you, if you go Google, the first thing that comes up as product manager is the CEO of the product, right? Mini CEO. Yeah, mini because probably the scope and span, right? As you grow, yeah. See, by that definition, because at the end of the day, what we are doing is there is a goal that we are chasing, and you are the one who's deciding what is the strategy, and in layman terms, what needs to happen for the company or for your team to achieve that goal, right? So you are the one who's really telling everyone in the team what needs to be done, right? And in that shape and form, you are guiding the entire ship. And hence the cliche of you are the CEO of the product, right? With respect to, I think, what a day-to-day looks like, I think the interesting thing about product management is each day is different, right? Depending on where you are in the product life cycle, you could actually be out in the field talking to consumers if you are trying to figure what is the next thing the team should be building, or if I were to solve this problem, what is the right solution? Or you figured all that out and now you're actually working with your designer to create the right user experience for your customer, or you're working with your developers to ensure the right product gets built. Or if the product is already ready, you are actually figuring, you're testing it out with your users, you're doing prototype testing, etc. If it's already in the market, you're scouring through data to figure what's not working, what's not working. So I think each day is very, very different, right? And depending on the size and scale of the organization, throw in some alignment conversations with the leadership, you're presenting to the CEO, you're presenting to the board on why this is the right strategy versus any strategy. Once the product is out, you're going talking to them, telling them how the product is doing, what are the next set of things that we should be doing, driving alignment, maybe asking for funding, whatnot, right? So I think that if you ask me, that's what makes product management really interesting. Each day is different, yeah?
Yeah, I think the definition would vary largely from every organization, right? Like,
Yeah.
and also at what stage of product management you are in. If you're just entering, you would probably focus a lot more on execution, like how to build things, how to like get things done, right? Like how to make sure that things are up and running all the time. You would also be very, very keenly following how a certain feature or a certain product is how is it faring also, right? Like if there's a funnel you worked on, say you're working on onboarding. I heard somebody talk about Zepto onboarding. So if you are looking at onboarding of someone onto your platform, of your customer onto your platform, you're going to track your funnel all throughout and you're going to identify issues. You're going to fix issues, you're going to fix bugs all the time. You are also going to communicate with the support team. Like whenever you launch something, you will have to tell them that, this is what the product is going to be. This is the scope of it. Many times you just launch an MVP. So it's not going to cover every aspect of the product also, right? So some things will be out of scope, some things will be, so you kind of have to let the support team know how to answer when those queries come. You will have to also coordinate with the marketing team on who is the target segment, right? How to communicate to them what is the value proposition of the feature you've built. So all of those is something which you would be doing once you enter the product management field. As you grow up the ladder, you're going to be chasing certain metrics, say revenue or acquisition of users or whatever is important to the business at that point, right? So you'd be chasing certain metric, and you're going to come up with features. You're going to come up with roadmaps to kind of achieve that metric, as she said. That's where the mini CEO comes up, right? Then you're accountable if that metric is achieved or not achieved, right? So either ways, you're going to be responsible for it. So that's where you're kind of the mini CEO there. But yeah, there's obviously you're not going to do everything the first day you are the PM. You're going to start with certain things, and over time, your responsibilities are also going to increase, and the scope of your work would increase, and your interactions with non-tech teams will probably increase over time, where you interact with the management, with the business, to kind of align the vision of the company and everything. Right? So as you spend more time as a PM, your role also changes according to the needs of the organization. So, yeah, that's how it is, I guess.
Next question I have is that who should become a product manager and who should not? What do you think, you guys, based on your rich experience in the domain? What kind of people should go for this career? And what kind of people should reconsider not joining product management?
So I mean, as she said, right, very rightly put, that no day is the same. So if you are like, I want everything to be planned, and I should know what exactly I'm going to do every day, then product management will probably not work for you, because every day you're facing some new challenge, right? You really don't know what's going to happen, because it's an open-ended problem statement you're dealing with. So that is not going to work that way compared to, say, a banking job or something like that, where you have a set of activities, but in PM you would probably do a bunch of things, and you're not going to do everything every day. So if you need that kind of a planning in your life, then probably product management will not be the right fit. Another thing I think would be people management, right? Because you will be talking to so many teams across different pods. So you would probably feel like, and everyone will have different agenda in your mind. Like a designer would be so into user experience. An engineer would want to write like the best code ever, which will not lead to any bug, or can scale to whatever extent. And your business need will be something else. So you're kind of speaking to all of them and tying everything up as a PM, right? So that's where you'll kind of have to make sure that everything falls in place. So that's very hard. It's not as easy as we think, because everybody has their own viewpoint, and by their job definition, everybody should have a different viewpoint, right? That's when everything will be considered. So you will have to kind of manage people well, not necessarily like people reporting to you, right? Even otherwise, because you'll be interacting with so many people across teams, you kind of have to understand your inputs and include it in the product or not. Either ways, you'll kind of have to communicate that very well. It's very easy to offend people. So the way you speak to them is something which you'll have to be very careful about.
Yes, I have a slightly different answer. So when I was switching from engineering to product, I was trying to figure if this is the right move to make. Yeah. And a lot of people told me, no, this is not the right move to make for you, because just by numbers, there are a lot more engineers than product managers, right? So the demand for product management is lesser than engineering. Money-wise also, engineers are paid better than product managers. So then why did I make the move, right? I think the way to approach whether the product management is the right job for you or the right choice for you is that, do you enjoy what a product manager has to do, right? So I remember the first meeting I sat in as a product manager, and I was like, oh my God, this is where I want to be, right? And 1 month down the line, my manager from when I was an engineer, he asked me, don't you feel like, don't you miss coding? I was like, no, I don't miss coding. And if I want to do it, I can go back and do it any day, right? But I was really enjoying what I was doing. And what that does is, I think what looks like hard work to others is just you're having fun, right? And you're happy to put in that extra effort. You're happy to sort of, you're just enjoying what you're doing, right?
It kind of comes in because you kind of feel happy to own your product.
Yeah, yeah,
So it kind of comes down from there that you're happy to serve your customers and you want the best there.
yeah.
So then you will put in everything you can to kind of give the best.
Yeah. And see, when that happens is when you can actually be in the top 1%. And in any discipline, the top 1% will make far more than the averages. Maybe an average engineer makes a lot more than an average product manager, but the top 1% of product managers will do far better than the average engineer, right? So you should ideally aim to be, whatever you do, aim to be in the top 1%, right? And how you can be in the top 1% is if you really enjoy what you're doing. So I think all of you who are sort of aspiring product managers take up certain, for example, when I was trying to switch, I did work for free. I would just, if anybody would reach out to me and they would want me to do some research or talk to customers and propose how they should solve a problem, I'll just do it for free. That gave me the exposure that helped me figure whether this is even something I would want to do, right? Whether this is something I will enjoy doing. So do a lot of that for yourself and see if you enjoy that, yeah?
Next question is around breaking into product management. So what do you think are the core 3 skills you would recommend people to join or work on in the next 3 to 6 months so that they'll be the suitable candidate for a product manager role in your company, respective company? Yeah.
Oh, again, one is kind of communication skills because you will be interacting with so many people. So that would be like top priority. You would need to be very clear on what you want. For example, right, like any miscommunication would lead to time waste, resources being wasted. Somebody would think, okay, this is what you want, and they'll start working on it, right? So all such things is you just have to be very crystal clear in the way you communicate what you want, right? So that is something you should know. Keep up with the trends which are going in today's world, right? So what you can, what other players in the market are doing, all of those are quite important. Keeping up with what's going on around you, and be more empathetic, I guess, because as a PM, right, you would want everything for your customers. So just be more be aware that, so at the end of the day, somebody is going to use this. And if something is broken, it's going to cost them some time and some money for your organization. That's also there. But then be more empathetic towards your customers. That's when you kind of come up with new ideas and features.
Yeah, I think the question, if I understood it correctly, was what does the interview process at Flipkart look like? And I think depending on whichever company you are interviewing at, each company has a very different process. Having interviewed at multiple companies, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, every company has its own process. So the first thing you should do if you have an interview call is you should figure what does the interview process at that company looks like, right? If it is a well-known company, you will actually find a lot of content on internet. Otherwise, you should actually try and get in touch with people who have gone through the process, who are at the company or who could have just interviewed to figure what the process looks like, yeah? Now, specifically at Flipkart, we have 4 rounds through which we evaluate various skill sets, right? I'll probably just talk about the skill sets that matter. First and foremost is customer orientation. Are you able to think customer first? Do you have empathy for the customer? I think like she was articulated, right? The second thing is results orientation. Are you able to understand goals? Put a metric that will help us measure the goal, right? The third one is data-driven decision making, which is, are you able to leverage data to drive your solution choices?
Yeah, that's quite important.
Yeah. The fourth one is tech orientation. If you're interviewing at a a tech product company, then obviously you are supposed to at least have a depth of understanding of technology. Yeah. And last but not least, we also expect some business orientation, which is, do you understand e-commerce? Specifically for us, we look for if you understand e-commerce, or we also try to evaluate this through your understanding of the domain you have worked with. Yeah. So these are the skills we look for. Specifically for junior roles, what I over-index on is ability to work with feedback. You might not get the right answer in first go, but when the interviewer is giving you feedback, are you able to course correct? Yeah. And second is, do you have the hustle and the perseverance to learn all the skills that you're yet to learn? Yeah. When you're a junior PM, there is a lot for you to learn. I've typically seen people who persevere, who have the hustle, they're able to learn. Yeah. So ability to work with feedback, when you're given feedback, are you able to take it? And do you have the perseverance to actually learn and improve? These are the two skills I typically look for in junior product managers.